Here's a couple of things that I want to share with you. First, if I may, some might call this a conspiracy theory, but I think that there is enough facts on this to back it up. But I believe this coronavirus was hatched in a shadowy star chamber filled with the heads of some of today's most powerful people, organizations, and corporations. And I'm going to name them. I believe this whole thing has been a plot executed by and to benefit the people at Sherwin-Williams, Lawn and Garden Centers, Home Depot, Amazon, and Zoom. I don't think we need to look at China or anybody else. I believe, especially the Zoom people. I mean, they came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, what the hell is Zoom? Everybody's using Zoom. I think not, Zoom. We're on to you, okay? Sherwin-Williams. We're all painting rooms or something. Don't think we don't know what's going on. And Home Depot, you disgust me. Now, this theory may have been hatched in a moment of frustration at Home Depot because Home Depot is a place that I like to go to and spend money. I don't know why, but you're in Home Depot and you're looking at things you don't really even need. And you're like, oh, that looks really good. I mean, look at that tool. I don't need that tool. I don't have any tools. But when I go to Home Depot, I feel like I need those tools. I don't even know what those tools do. So I'm at Home Depot because I needed to power wash my barn before we painted it Sherwin-Williams. So I go to Home Depot and I rent a power washer. And I go, stop me if this has happened to you recently. I went to rent it. I go, I get home, it's 5 o'clock, they close at 6. I bring the power washer home, I set it all up, and it doesn't work. And I'm like, oh, crap. So then I have to wait until about 3 o'clock the next afternoon because I work in the early part of the day. And I go to Home Depot, and I said, this doesn't work. And they said, oh, well, here, you need this. Okay. Well, I'm not paying for yesterday. Oh, I don't know. Why didn't you come this morning? Because I work. So I get home. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I do it. And it still doesn't work. That's when I look at my son-in-law, and he said, I got to take care of the kids. And I said, I don't have time to run back to Home Depot. Could you run tomorrow? Sure. So he can't run until, again, in the afternoon, and it's a Friday. And he goes in, and he said, look, we just want to return this. This thing hasn't worked, blah, blah, blah. They said, we can't give you a refund. What do you mean it hasn't worked? And I'm going, see that aisle right over there? I've already picked it out. See that box? I'm buying a power washer that I know that can work. So why would we try to rip you off? Well, people do this all the time. Do they? Yeah. Do they give you a power washer that doesn't work? Well, no. I can give you 50% off. That's not good enough. My son-in-law is fearless on this. That's not good enough. We want our money back. It never worked. They called the manager, and the manager said, no, I'm not going to give you anything off. Don't give him 50% off. You get nothing. Why didn't you return it right away? Well, my son-in-law didn't have a good excuse. I have one because I don't have time to run back and forth and then stand in front of your stupid line to get in to have a power washer done. I'm not made of time. Oh, my gosh, I couldn't believe it. And I don't know if anybody else has had this problem, but, Home Depot, you really shouldn't be such jerks about things like this, especially when you have everybody over a barrel. Then, another reason why we didn't get that stupid power washer back is because I had to call the fire department. Now, I smelled gas, and I know that is the first sign of insanity. Or is that smoke? I think it's smoke, but gas might be a sign that you're insane, too. I smell gas. Really? I don't smell it. Anybody else smell it? Well, this time everybody in the house smelled it. I even went next door and said to my daughter, "Can you come over? Can you smell this gas?" Yeah, that's definitely gas. So we call the fire department. The fire department comes, and I try to call them at the firehouse, okay, and say it's not an emergency. Can just somebody come over in a car quietly or something? Nope. I have to call 911. What's your emergency? Okay, it's not an emergency. But can you, sure enough, here come the fire department with the ambulance and everything. Woo, woo. And they come right up to the house and they're like, "What's the problem?" We're like, "Well, we smell gas." They come in, they got all these fancy things. They don't smell it. We don't smell it. It's gone. We don't smell it now. And they walked around like, "Yeah, this happens all the time. And, it could be gas. I mean, you just don't know. But these, they're sensors." And they tried to make us feel good. Here's why I'm telling this story. Because I would like the fire department to adopt a new standard, and I think it's reasonable. If someone calls you and you come with all of the trucks, I think because you're being paid by the taxpayer base, you need to walk out of the house and say, "It's a good thing you called us because that could have been a real problem. So, yeah, no, don't worry about it. That was, you caught that just in time." So we don't stand there with all of our neighbors looking at us going, "Yeah, I just called the fire department and they didn't find anything, and I'm feeling like a real idiot now." And they're driving away in the fire trucks, and they're like, well, except for now. But usually they're like, people are crazy. This time, at least, they were driving away, I think, going, "It was kind of nice to get out. I mean, at least we saw some people." I mean, when they walked up the drive, I wanted to hug them. People, there's another person.